1017 FM, 710 Keel, Mike and McCarty on the Jack Spring Electric Newsmaker Hotline. President of the Louisiana Oil and Gas Association, Mike Moncla, joining us. Mike, good morning.
Good morning to y'all. How are y'all today?
Well, we're doing very well. My daughter also works in the oil and gas industry over in Dallas, and so I know their office was about dancing on Wednesday. Were you guys a little enthused to come waking up Wednesday morning?
Very much so. Yes, absolutely. We've had the foot on our throats from the Biden administration for 4 years, so it felt really good to get that win.
What is the first thing that you think will happen with the new administration that will help your industry?
Well, it's really about the regulation side of things, and just in the presidential executive orders. I mean, Biden came in, the first thing he did was cancel the Keystone Pipeline.
Right.
Since then we've been fighting over offshore lease sales. I mean, we had the first time we ever had a lapse without having an administration that didn't have the OCS 5-year plan. And then this year, 2024, is the first year in 42 years that we didn't have an offshore lease sale. And just the ESG measures that they've put in on all the banks. It's just one thing after another with this presidency.
Will some actions of this, and a lot of people don't, maybe you can help, will some actions of this president help lower what I pay at the pump, Mike?
It's funny. I'll be in Shreveport next week giving my State of the Industry address that I've been kind of going around talking through different venues. And that's one of the slides that I have. And, oil and gas, we always vote for what's best for the country, not what's necessarily best for us. And, I have a slide that shows the average price of oil during Bush was like $47. And then it jumped up to like 77 for Obama, came back down to 51 under Trump, and the highest ever $80 under Biden. So, we're in the business to make money, and the commodity price, the higher it is, the more profitable we can be, right? And so, you would think that we would want to keep the Democrats in office to keep more profit on the oil commodity side, yet we vote for what's best for the country, And so when you take that same slide and you look at the gasoline, we're paying the highest we've ever paid at the pump under Obama and under Biden. I mean, Biden is $3.60 average at the pump, and Trump was $2.49. Bush was $2.15. Obama was $2.97.
To those who say the oil companies have been greedy and they're to blame for the high prices, how do you answer that?
Well, they're not educated on the subject. I mean, it's a commodity, and it is a worldwide supply and demand that pulls that back and forth. I will say this, there is a monopoly out there, but the monopoly is not in the United States. The monopoly is OPEC, and anytime they want to flood the market, they can, which they did in 2015. Refineries buy oil from the many different oil companies that produce it, and they're having to buy it at whatever the price is of that commodity. So if they're having to buy the oil at a higher price, the end result of the gasoline comes out at a higher price. So it's not exactly what they think, but education is one of the worst things that the oil and gas industry has done. But we do not tell our story often enough or well enough.
We're talking with Mike Moncla, president of Louisiana Oil and Gas Association. Mike, I've had people on the left argue with me saying, well, Biden didn't hurt the oil and gas industry. We've never drilled and produced more than we do today. How do you respond to that?
Well, it's pretty simple, really. And to be honest with you, Trump did some of the same stuff. I've got another slide that shows the rig activity. And rig activity is certainly way down under Biden. So Trump got production up to 12.9 million barrels a day, and we're now at 13. So what you have is drilling rigs cannot keep up. The frac fleets cannot keep up with the drilling rigs. There's 582 rigs running in the country right now. About 85% of those are drilling for oil. Okay, there's only 230 frac fleets, and they can't keep up with how many rigs are completing wells every day, right? So there's a term in the oil field called DUC, and that's DUC, and it stands for drilled uncompleted. And so there's an inventory of wells that have been drilled that are waiting on to be completed and fracked. And so Biden is cashing in on DUCs while the price of the commodity is high. The drilling count is actually going down. We're drilling less, but we're completing the wells that have been in the inventory since Trump and maybe even some from Obama.
Mike Moncla with Louisiana Oil and Gas. What does this mean for jobs in that industry in Louisiana specifically?
Well, I mean, these oil and gas companies need certainty and stability, and to be able to see a future, ahead, especially on expensive projects like offshore, LNG, those kind of things. And this president is you're unsure what you're going to get, Biden. So I think with Trump, there'll be positivity. People are going to know what's coming, and they'll get back to trying to invest in oil and gas projects, especially with the ESG. I've heard Trump was going to slash ESG measures, which would be great because no banks are putting any money into oil and gas. So if you can, get banks back interested in oil and gas, it'll certainly help investment in the state, which improves jobs.
How critical, Mike, is opening the Keystone Pipeline back?
Well, I mean, it's a main artery of the state, and it's been cut off. It's the widowmaker. I mean, anytime you have a project like that that's going to put so much investment dollars into the infrastructure that is needed to get, oil or gas from Canada into the middle USA. I mean, why would you not do that project? That made no sense to me. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that project will get back online.
You anticipate action from the president for your industry on day one?
Oh yeah, I mean, you heard him the night he took. If you were up with me at what time was it? About 1:45.
Right.
Drill baby drill. He said it a couple of times. So we're excited about that.
Mike Moncla, President, Louisiana Oil and Gas Association. Look, congratulations. We're excited. We know you're excited, and looking forward to a much brighter future for Louisiana.
I appreciate you all having me on today.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Mike and McCarty.